destined fated change in where you live. Okay. And so changes in the home, changes in your reality, changes in long-term love relationships are all intensified that whole first week of July. Put it on your calendar. What the heck is going on? It is intense. It is rare.
Lunatic astrology.
Welcome to the month of July 2026. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What a different energy field we have for you this month ahead. It's like nothing that you had last month or even the month before. Jupiter, good guy, Santa Claus, is moving into the sign of Leo, while Mars is also changing signs. This is going to really shift a lot of variables in your life, particularly around your home life, where you live and with whom you live. As well, a first in a lifetime rare, thousands of years old formation happening in the middle of July is going to light your sky up and potentially bring financial changes. We're going to dive into how that barbell basket hits you and where you might find new prosperity directions forming as a Pisces being. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Lori Lothian. This is Western Tropical Zodiac Astrology. And in today's 30-minute video, we're going to cover some of the highlights week by week and day by day through the month of July. Use this as a navigational tool to time your best life or to time your best month. By the way, I am all about using cycle repetition and pattern recognition through astrology to do exactly that, to find the best way to navigate our own lives with ease and flow. And if you want to learn the basic tools on the building blocks of the language of astrology, in order to time your best life and be your own astrologer, maybe you will join me this September. It is my 7th year teaching Sky Reader, and I love it every single time. So come aboard for 7 weeks this year. We're adding an extra week to slow down the learning pace, where you're going to learn how to read the sky. And from that, I'm going to teach you 2 very simple and enjoyably fun, but deadly accurate timing tools for using this astrological guidance system as your own navigational device. So come check it out. It's the deep discount code that ends at the end of July for the super early bird rate. After that, this will not exist again. So the deepest discount you'll ever get for my course live with me, Zoom calls, weekly Q&As, etc., is before the end of July. Check the description box below. If you're at all curious, the website will explain more about this course. So the first thing I want you guys to know is, as a Pisces Sun, Moon, and Rising, you are literally activating the energetic field of Jupiter. You are ruled by Jupiter. He's the boss of you. And Jupiter is moving into the new sign of Leo. Yes, he's been there before. Every 12 years, he moves through the sign of Leo for 1 whole year. But because he's your ruler, this makes the month of July exceptionally important. It's a sea change energy. You have to notice it because he is your ruler. He's going to improve your health. He's going to protect your health. He's in your 6th house. He's going to give you pets if you want them. He's going to help you eliminate debts if you need to. He's also going to help you with job and work matters. If you have any desire to find staff, hire employees, get a job, be employed, Jupiter also rules not just you, your Sun, Moon, and Rising, but your 10th house of career. Now, I always remind you that your sun sign is your true nature, and it represents career and purpose. Your moon sign is how you feel and think about life, but represent your home and nest. And your sun sign and your rising sign is you, the simulation avatar character in the game of life, very circumstantially activated by the fates and the planets. But listen for all 3 and see what fits the best. As you listen today, you'll over time choose where your happy place is. Now, Jupiter, I'm going to show you the chart. We're going to go through the sky. Jupiter is your good guy. And when Jupiter moves into your sign, it is a big deal. So I did cover a whole Jupiter and Leo video already out. So go check it out for your sign, where we go into a lot more depth about that. So I'm going to show you the chart, and there's some garbage day outside my window. I don't know if you can hear like what sounds like big trucks moving, but if you can, I apologize. I can't change Canada's my city's garbage day. That sounds like I'm listening to the recycling bin being dumped outside my window. Maybe you don't hear it. So let's get started. I'm going to bring us right away over to your sky. And this is a week by week. There's a lot going on this month, guys. I can't possibly cover it all, but I'll do my best to give you the highlights, including the Cancer lunation that's very impactful in a positive way on you, happening in the middle of the month. So let's get the share going. Let's bring up the sky and let's get started. See, this is you, Pisces rising. Now, it is a big deal that you've had the North Node in your sign since January 11th, 2025. And this is going to end around July 27th, 28th. So there is another massive change of direction for you as well. And let's get us back just a little further so that I don't run out of space in the ascensional times. Okay. That's just, I'm moving the ascendant back. Okay. So before we start, yay. Now we're early ascendant in your sign. Living with the North Node here means you live with eclipses. So for 18 months or really since September of 2024, technically, you've had eclipses going through your sign, and there is an eclipse in August. So you definitely want to like and subscribe if you hadn't done that already, because that August eclipse at 5 degrees or so of Pisces is the last grand finale, nail in the coffin of a cycle of change that you've been going through for almost 2 years. So you'll feel this energy shifting at the end of the month. Jupiter moving into Leo. Again, health and pets and rental properties are there, debt elimination and new job opportunities, or expansion and growth and prosperity through work, money, and career. This is a new story that begins this month. It happened to change signs on June the 30th, and you can count on Jupiter's 2 thumbs up for you all the way through until June of 2027. So you've got a year-long transit here. So we're going to go through it a bit by bit. Itty bit by itty bit, but do remember that big changes like Mars now moving into Gemini, it means major change. It's only every 2 years you have Mars in your 4th house. Now, one way to explode here would be to have fights with the people you live with. So please be very careful, because in the month of June, Mars will actually bump right on into Uranus around June the 3rd, that first week of June. And that can be a massive explosive blowout with somebody that you live with, a domestic chaos moment, a major upset. So this is where those domestic things feel very unstable, very electric, and very shocking. So that first week of July, epicenter July 3rd, be very cautious. But knowing that you have Mars here in your 4th house, June the 28th to August the 11th, could indicate a move. Now, every 2 years he goes through here, but not with support from Jupiter, meaning a very positive move that may involve the opportunity to become a renter, to lease a property, or to move and lease out your own home. And so you could also move for job and work opportunities. All of that is the long job of Mars and Jupiter covering you in this way. So the majority of the month of July, all right, into August 11th can indicate relocations. Sometimes here you might hire laborers or workers to construct or build something in your home, and you'll find the best ever laborers or construction crew or renovation crews or whatever you're doing with that construction Mars home. Otherwise, a lot of you might either have those disconnects, endings and severings and blowups with people with whom you live, or some of you, as I said, maybe thinking of a relocation. We'll be blessed by Jupiter. You'll find the most beautiful, auspicious new place to live, particularly if you're looking to rent. Now let's break it down a bit more week by week. As we enter the first week of the month, the first thing you notice is that there's a bit of a chironic healing. Jupiter wants to help you heal the wound with Chiron. It can be a sibling wound. Any wounds you've had with siblings and debts, you're trying to heal those wounds, cousins and debts, childhood friends and debts, siblings and debts in general. That's a theme that may be opening up doors of deeper healing, karmic relief, and also the removal of a debt. If you are owed money by somebody or you owe somebody money, that debt removal and elimination can occur in the first couple of days, really, of the month of July. As we move forward, Venus will trine. Nope, we're skipping that. As we move forward, Mars will square the North Node. This is called Mars bending the nodes of fate. In this regard, you can't really... Well, let's not use that because it's an odd sign. I apologize. I hate when my software... There's 2 different ways to do this, and this is really not what I wanted to look at. So Yes, we're going to look at that. What's wrong with me? Yeah. So just before the nose change signs, we do have that bending happening. I do apologize. That's the mean node. We can also use the true node. It's more exact at the time. I apologize. During my first video, I'm going backwards today. Something karmic and destined is changing. It has to do with what you want to do to increase your worldly success in the world personally, in your career, in your livelihood, in worldly success in and from your home. That was Sun, Moon, and Rising Pisces, connected to destined fated change in where you live. Okay. And so changes in the home, changes in your reality, changes in long-term love relationships are all intensified that whole first week of July. Put it on your calendar. What the heck is going on? It is intense. It is rare. And on July 3rd, in particular, but up to 3 or 4 days before and a day or two after, explosive, dynamic, intense change regarding your home. This is ruled by Mercury. This change impact is like detonation energy. And Mercury happens to be hanging out in the house of your children. So there also may be massive changes in home regarding long-term love relationship partners and children. And with Mercury retrograde as of June the 29th, all the way through until July 23rd, this can indicate changes of home as former romantic partners, lovers, and or committed love partners return to your life, and you make a decision maybe to have them come back and live with you or go move closer to where they are. So long-term and short-term romantic partners from the past are making appearances, and they could upset the apple cart in your domestic environment, but it could also have you want to move. So that's that first week of July. When we move into the energy of the second week of July, getting close to it around the 5th and 6th of the month, we're going to see that Mars begins to flow to Pluto, which can be extremely positive in a lot of ways. Pluto is where we have power and transformation, and Mars is where we have change and new directions. And so I think some of you might want to think about a move connected to long-term love partnerships or business partnerships connected to foreigners, foreign places, and foreign lands. So keep your eye on that ball. And the sun will square Saturn as well around the 6th of July. So we're just finishing up that first week. That can just be a short-term day in the life of tension that you experience regarding money. So if you do feel like your wallet, your pocketbook, your finances, and your resources are strained, the strain could come from something going on in the life of a child or in the life of a romantic partner. And if you're thinking about relocation, maybe as well for children or romantic partner reasons, and then there's also just a feeling of pressure around your finances. So you're going to feel that around July 5th and 6th, but it doesn't last very long. It comes and it goes, and then you can release it. You could find yourself as we move now into the second week of the month. So take note, we're now in the second week of July. We're going to notice that Venus will trine a Chiron. It's a beautiful healing of a wound of some kind of money or love story. Now, because Venus will have moved into Virgo, okay, the whole first week of the month of July, Venus is finishing up her June 13th to July 8th travel through Leo, where she was giving you a lot of better health outcomes, better debt situations, real and monetary and karmic, better options regarding your health. I think I said health, maybe even work opportunities and job opportunities that first week of July. But now she moves into the long-term committed love house on the 9th of the month. And as she does that transition, she's going to talk with Chiron. So what you heal here, Chiron's newly latched himself on into the sign last month, and you're going to be feeling like you have a chironic wound to heal. And it has to do with love, most likely, because this is committed monogamous love. This is Chiron. This is where your marriage partner is. This is Chiron, the wounded healer. And especially if love is connected to formative experiences to do with your siblings, okay? And how you parse love based on like familial love or sibling love. And now you're making a shift. You're healing something here. Love has a new lease on life as you are restoring something to proper working order, primarily around commitment, okay? How we commit to others in love. Oh, how do I love you? Let me count the ways, right? What commitments do you make in love? How solid is your commitment to a partner or to partnership as a concept? Now, I know you see this, and I do too. Where do you need to surrender? Where do you need to let go? Because when Venus and the South Node come together, there is a need to volume down or to release something. You're releasing something to do with romantic love because of Mercury's position. Retrograde, you might release a relationship from the past, or an old relationship is being karmically healed, or there's just some releasing in love. You may recognize it's time to unbind and unwind yourself from a karmic relationship that has been a part of your life over the last 2 years because of the nodal axis telling us that story. And it's time to undo the connection, to let it go, basically. It can be an ending, a parting of ways, or a breakup. The only thing I'd say is if former love relationship partners come back from the past, you may be dealing with the past and the wounds you experienced together to heal the wounds of that past relationship, whether it reestablishes itself or not. And that story does run through the first and second week of July. That could even be a former marriage partner coming back wanting to work things out with you. There's a lot of ways this can go. When we continue forward, which we're known to do in astrology, we doth trumble forward through constantly looking at the future. When we move to the July 12th timeframe, we're in the second week of the month, the Sun and Mercury come together in a cazimi. Now, Mercury's retrograde, so it's very magical, full high synchronicity, super powered retrogradation. Don't forget, with Mercury retrograde here, all the way from June 29th to July 23rd, things from the past to do with love, creativity, and romance, even creative projects, are being recalibrated, readdressed, and revisioned. And as Mercury goes into the heart of the Sun and resets himself with the divine intelligence of the solar system at 20 degrees of Cancer, on July the 12th, it's going to mean a reset button of magnitude where you're going to find yourself wanting to redo, restart, and renew committed long-term love, fertility, relationships with your children, and even committed love. Mercury rules commitment. So to recommit or newly commit, and maybe to commit again to a relationship that is from your past, returning to you now. Because if your ascendant is at 20 degrees or so, or your sun or moon in Pisces, it does really flow to that reset button. And you may reset or recalibrate a relationship with one of your children at this time as well. Now, look for news coming through, phone calls, text messages, or anything from your children or from former love partners from the past around July 12th. That would be a very strong information communications hit at that time. Now, there's a surprise. It's unexpected. It's the same time as the cazimi, and that would be Venus, the goddess of love, squaring in a difficult relationship, but a surprising one, Uranus. Unexpected, surprising developments. Expect the unexpected around the 12th, 13th, 14th. Not only with the new reset button, but the square from the goddess of love and the house of commitment to Uranus. If you were single, a karmic love relationship could unfold that shocks you. You're like shocked by this new development. If you're not single, then a surprising, exciting, exhilarating, unexpected turn of events regarding your home life, your property, your real estate, where you live, or with whom you live, especially if it comes to romantic love and committed love. It's a surprise. It's still Venus. She's trying to bring you something good, but she's in a condition of fall or detriment here. So she may not bring you what you want, right? So it could be a sudden end to a relationship that shocks you, may impact your living situation as well. So the best I can say is it is the sky, I didn't make it up. It just is happening. All right. We have a lunation that's quite beautiful for you. And this is going to be a 21 degree Cancer new moon happening on July the 14th. So we're just coming to the end of the second week, July the 14th, brand new moon here. Let's try to get the moon over there for you to look at it. Okay. It'll be exactly at 21 degrees when it happens. It will be on the 14th. I don't know if I can hold your sky, but let's see if I can. Just trust me. So on the 14th, brand new moon in your fifth house, something along the lines of a new beginning and a fresh start with fertility, with romantic love, with creative projects, with entrepreneurial endeavors. And this fresh start, new beginning is something you can count on to be quite positive. And the reason is that Mercury is right and bundled into the middle of it, and Mercury is being ruled by Jupiter, your Lord. So I wonder, exaltation, Jupiter's exalting Mercury, your Lord, in this kind of intense reset button. Because of the embedding of a retrograde planet, which is Mercury here, there is something about the past. So you're in a contradictory mode here of resetting your relationship to romantic love. It connected to matters of the past. So it's just why I think a few of you may find yourself getting back with someone from your past. But if there was a relationship that had, not quite fulfilled its potential of any kind, then this could reset the button for a redo or restart in love. A do-over, so to speak, or do-overs in the life of your children, and reset buttons in the life of your children, or your relationship to your children, or abandoned creative projects, something you started and never finished, and now you're going to reset and renew it. And if you've tried to sell your house before but couldn't get the right price, this could be a relisting of a property because you know that you're going to get the money that you can really expect from it. That could happen here too. And again, wouldn't be a bad time for that. If you listed your house for sale in the past and relisting it around July 14th, new moon is okay. You might get a better deal this time around in what people offer you, the gains of the sale. We're going to go ahead and talk about the third week of the month. Now, this is André Barbeau, the French astrologers, beginning of the dawn of the golden age of humanity, a renewal and a reset for the world at large in a positive way. This is a miniature trine not seen. We have elements not seen for thousands of years, okay? 6,000 years ago for some of it. So it's thousands of years rare, but the idea of the Barbeau basket will be alive and well as we move into the 15th of the month to about the 22nd. And so we're beginning to feel a rare story appear. Do you see the basket here? This is called Barbeau's basket because he foretold, French astrologer, this was a pivot point for all of humanity. So as we go into the 14th of the month, you'll see Jupiter is moving closer and closer to hitting 4 degrees, Neptune at 4 degrees, and Uranus at 4. And embedded in the basket is a mini grand trine. So all of this is positive. This blue lines mean positivity, but the axis of opposition is intensified, difficult energy. So here's what I'm going to say for you about the third week of July, the 14th to about the 24th-ish or 21st-ish. We'll kind of keep it at that. We'll go to the 24th. From the 15th to the 24th, this basket is very alive. Look for turning point changes in your 12th house, 6th house axis that have a golden flow to them. So money, earnings, and resources. And we also love the flow of home, property, land, and real estate connected to work, job, and career, connected to far off lands and foreign shores. There may be a golden wealth opportunity when Pluto and Jupiter are in communion with each other, connected to livelihood or work, contracts and agreements. However, there is another element. For example, Jupiter rules the house of your career and your house of weddings, and this is the goddess of marriage. So there may be a turning point commitments phase going on in a relationship around separating and divorcing or marrying or staying together. While at the same time, we can see money here. We see a Saturnian go the distance, take your time, work on it, don't rush, consolidate, save your money. And Neptune says dream money, dream job, Jupiter says. This is Artha. Artha houses are all about your money, your career, your work. That's enlivened within the basket itself. Look for people from distant shores and far off lands, that's Mars with Uranus, to open up doors of opportunity for you, whether those doors of opportunity connect you to a new job or a new relationship direction. I think both are possible as well. You can also notice that because you have this Jupiter energy here, ruled by the sun, Some of this may translate as new beginnings in life professionally, connected to your children or romantic partners from your past, as well as relocations as connected to your children and partners from your past. The barbell basket won't come back again. It's once in a lifetime, first in a lifetime, like my thumbnail probably says, and it's going to transform your reality. I will be doing a deep dive video or two into Barbell's basket where I go much deeper into your sign. Those are just some ideas for you to consider. If you have a planet anywhere at 4 degrees, near 4 degrees of Aquarius, 4 degrees of Aries, 4 degrees of Gemini, 4 degrees of Leo, you're really hooked into this story. A sun, moon, rising, midheaven, IC, descendant, or planet, or a node of fate, you're really hooked into this basket. Alrighty, that's going to be a deeper dive that you need to listen to my videos for, or maybe I'll do a webinar in July. All right, besides Barbell's basket, which is dominating the sky in the month of July, in the third week of July, we have some sub-stories playing out. One of them is Mars sextiling Saturn, just a pleasant, steady energy here for you. Mars and Saturn come into this nice little sextile most accurately, Mars and Saturn around the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th of the month. It can consolidate financial situations that have been difficult or hard because you're making decisions around property, land, home, and real estate. Now, I didn't cover this, but I'll bring it up. Where Venus is sitting, siblings and money and you, and change and consolidation and home, somehow, some way may be intertwined. So look for connections in those themes as well. But it can consolidate money through things you're doing in the home, from the home, at home. Yeah, that could include the sale of a home. That can include moving home. That can include having possessions of money that allow you to change your home, rent a home, or purchase a home. But home changes and financial consolidation in a steadfast, incremental way beginning to happen here for you. Maybe just decisions around which direction you want to go with where you live and whom you live with. That time frame again is around here, July 17th, 18th. You're really feeling it. Few days before and after. And we also notice that Jupiter, nope, that's all a part of Barbell's basket. So that's what we got for the third week. Barbell's basket has been described already, so we will move past it. Now, on the third week, or the last week, the very last week of the month, and we're going to go the 24th to the 29th. There's a few stories to pay attention to. Now, one thing I will mention before we get to the last week, we talked about Venus moving into Virgo at the beginning of this video, and it's not a strong place for her July the 9th to August the 7th. And I would be careful about what you choose to do in business partnerships or love commitments at this time. Her proximity to the South Node suggests it's about letting go, not grabbing onto that committed love story or that business partner opportunity, or letting go of an audience-client relationship, because it is going to be a fallen Venus and a releasing energy, not an adding on. So through to August 7th, be careful about the choices you make regarding other people in your life that are like your marriage partner. And there's a potential for in-law money also showing up here, but being disappointing for you at this time, and falling outs with your significant other. And so we're talking like July 9th to August 7th. And those falling outs can be about finances and money you share together, including, for some of you, the beginnings of divorce, separation, communications. Keep that in mind if you're thinking of the end of a relationship. Now, on July the 26th, so give it a day or two before and after, feeling into the idea that the sun at 4 degrees of Leo will be actually right away opposite Pluto. So when the sun and Pluto are in opposition, and the sun, of course, is the center of the solar system, and it's bright and it shines a light on everything it touches, this begins to be noticeable by the 22nd, 23rd. It's pretty exact around July 26th. Jupiter protects this for you. This is Jupiter's protection, but there can be a health issue There can be an issue connected to debts and money you owe and a crisis energy or need to address something. There can be a big challenge in your life regarding a work situation in your job and livelihood. And there can be a big challenge regarding things to do with an animal or a pet. And yet at the very same time, Jupiter is protective and the sun is in its home kingdom. So there's a lot of things about this that are not going to be as difficult as it could be. Jupiter does rule your 10th house of reputation and career. It may translate to work, job, money, and career intensity, but with solutions forthcoming, right? Solutions forthcoming. You'll notice around the 26th, 27th, the North Node, depends if you're using mean or true, and the South Node have changed their axis of influence. And you'll be coming into a time where, we'll talk about this in August, eclipses begin to dominate the story, and you're going to feel a lot of rock and roll through your life at that time. So there's a new energy, a new eclipse part of the sky coming up in earnest, where the nodes are participating in the Aquarius Leo eclipse cycle. So just stay tuned for more about that in August. And I'll be doing a video also at the end of July about the nodal axis changing. So we'll dive into that then. Also, the sun is very busy playing nice with its neighbors, okay? Which we don't really mind when the sun plays nice with its neighbors. So it will flow to Neptune, the sun will flow to Uranus between July 27th and the 28th. So watch the sun. Well, you're feeling it the 25th to the 28th. The sun flows to Uranus. The sun flows to Neptune, creating a miniature grand trine and anchoring more of that basket that we still see playing out here. So if I was to simplify this, I'd say, look for positive, exciting opportunities connected to work, job, debt, homeland, property, real estate, as well as money. So money, home, property, land, income, resources, possessions, finances, job, work, debts and debt elimination or debt servicing or debt returns. People owe you money and incomes of money. These themes are very powerful here. Certainly the surprising energy of Uranus with the sun can be a surprising job opportunity with you. With that opportunity or that work opportunity comes more money, but a surprising change in the home. We still have Mars saying, do we want to cut away from here and move? And this can be a golden rental property opportunity that you say is a dream rental property. And damn it, Janet, it's very affordable. You say to yourself, I can afford this. Jupiter likes bigger and better, so a bigger home. Some of you might purchase a pet in a surprising, unexpected way as well in that last week of July. Mostly consider July the 25th to the 28th to be about what I'm talking about here. At the very end of the month of July 29th, they have two more stories. Venus will square Mars, and then we'll have the Jupiter conjunct the sun, and then we'll have a full moon. So we're talking about the last 3 days of the month. Let's start off with Venus and Mars in a square. Okay, the cosmic lovers, romantic love are the combination here, sex and romance, and square, difficulty, hardship, and difficulty, but can be also sexual passion as well. So it can be sexual passion or difficulty in love relationships connected to domicile, home, where you live and who you want to partner with. Now, there can be some issues here. Venus is in a fall and Mars can indicate separation geographically, or just the idea of distance, especially if the person lives in a foreign country. Up here, that's Mars's domain, right? Or there can be money issues in an existing relationship, according to Mars's priorities of what he wants to fight over. So money, domestic issues, financial issues, difficulty, committed love or business partnerships, friction. I wouldn't get into this as sexy, hot romance, and I wouldn't start a new love story under this. Squares invite infidelity over time, and Venus is fallen. So this is not the ideal time to start a new relationship. And remember how Mercury was retrograde and he was going to bring someone back from the past? Well, now he's direct, yes. So as of around July the 24th, or 23rd, he went direct. So now that past blast from the past may not be around. That hookup from the past may have left you. So you may not be engaged with that. Watch out for, though, difficult home, domestic, love, business partnership, money challenges may be happening at this time. It's really intense on the 29th. You'll feel it from the 27th to the 30th. Sun will fuse energies, become one with Jupiter. This is not about the day. Unfortunately, it would be so simple if I could say this is what happens July the 28th. It's the beginning of a synodic reset cycle for a whole year, but you might have some positive developments around July the 28th. It could be like a new beginning of a rental property, pet situation, a bounty with your health, better health, debt elimination. At the same time, the South Node suggests what you need to let go of makes you healthier, what you need to release makes you feel better. Karmic debt repayment plans, both physical money or karmic energy, unfolding here as well. And especially with siblings, given there is a square to Chiron in the house of siblings. At the same time, there is a whole sign trine to money in a Neptune house. Neptune in a money house, which could be very positive for your work, money, and home life as a reset button that is being offered up. That could be a kind of a code for the year ahead. New home, new rental property, new pet, new job, new financial situations emerging. The full moon is coming through at 6 degrees of Aquarius. Did I say Capricorn? Of Aquarius. 6-degree Aquarius full moon will be opening up a spotlight on your 12th house. And you had 6 months earlier a new moon here. February, March, April, May, yeah, in February. So that actually, February was an eclipse, I believe. That was the February eclipse in Aquarius. So February 28th. So what was going on February 28th until now? Because this is a new moon energy. It's inviting in, a full moon is inviting in a kind of what do you call it? Like a flashlight or a torchlight into what this eclipse energy from February 28th is trying to offer you now in your life and how you want to expand on that energy. And it's 12th house moksha, spiritual liberation, self-undoing, far off lands, foreign people, and far off shores. And this is the goddess of marriage. Some of you could be getting involved in a long-term committed love story for sure. But I want you to go back to February 28th or so, the couple weeks that preceded and followed that, and see if you can find themes that are showing up again here on July the 29th at least a month after, to see what is being opened up like a spotlight here. Anyone on a spiritual path looking for liberation, good for you. But because this is a full begin moon shining a light in the ruled by Saturn in a money house, this can bring you into financial spotlights as well, particularly how you handle your money. If you make money online or from distant shores or foreign companies, or you live in another country or making money abroad, this can really shine some light on your finances as well. And the role of money versus spirituality, charity versus hoarding and saving. These are themes that come up for you. Maybe a very deep karmic healing around deeper money wounds than you even knew you had, as this full light shows you where money and spirituality intersect and how you may have miscoded something there. That includes how you learned about money from your childhood and maybe need to recalibrate from lessons that don't serve you. All right, that's what we got. Don't forget, come check out Sky Reader if you want to learn to read the sky like you read sheet music, right? Learn the language of astrology with me live, 7 weeks starting in September. The date will be put in the down below. I have recording early June, so I'm not sure what date I start this year. And I love teaching the class, and it's fun. And there's weekly Q&As and everything else, and a private Facebook and Discord group to meet other students. It's not certifying you to be an astrologer. It's teaching you the basic language, how to time your best life, be your own astrologer. And I'll teach you a couple of very accurate timing tools that you can use once you basically learn some of the fundamentals of language of astrology. We always have 4 guest teachers every time teaching. I'll be rounding up the guest teacher list, so hopefully that'll be available by the time you see this video. The super early bird discount ends on end of July. That price will never return. So if you want to jump in way ahead of September and get that super discounted price, this is the time to join. I'd love to see you in class. You'll meet other students. You'll have a blast. You'll walk away with a usable tool and a skill set as well. All right. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon, and have a wonderful July. Lunatic astrology.